So this is just a short video kind of showing how I use my iPad and Procreate to do some of the verses and messages and greetings and things that I do. I'm going to start here by selecting a new image, a new canvas. I have several different custom ones made. The ones that I put up on Facebook and Instagram are square. And so here's what I call a high-res square. It's 4,000 by 4,000. Good place to start. That way when you go zooming in on it and so on, it doesn't get too pixelated. First thing I'm going to do is turn on my drawing grid, because if not, it gets to be a problem keeping everything straight. So I just go into the canvas, drawing guide, turn it on. I can resize it, which I think I actually will. I can make that grid a little bit smaller. Makes the lettering easier. Done. Now, these lines don't show up on the final image. They're just there to see, which is really cool that way. Into the brushes. Going to select one of my favorites. I think today is a broad brush day. I'm going to go with this one that has the stripes in it. I think I'm going to go with Celtic style. Oh, now, on this Celtic brush that I have, I made it, and frankly I don't know how to make the angle change. I can make the angle change with by changing the pen, but you noticed I had to turn it, because if I'm over here then it works backwards, which is kind of annoying. So I don't want it to be backwards, so I have to change the canvas essentially. Anyway, there we are. There's the pen working the right direction. So I'm going to clear that layer. Not straight enough. This is a hard angle to work at because I got this camera tripod right in the way. It's getting better though. Not like he meant so much. So, good news is, just get rid of it and stay at it. Still don't like the L's. Better, I think. Gonna work with it anyway. I think I want this to be a bit bigger overall. So I can just select it like that. I turn on this magnetic thing down here. Can you see it? Yeah. Then if you grab it in the corner, it keeps it in proportion. If you don't hit that magnetic, I'll just show you, then you can stretch it and do whatever you want to like this, even to the point of grabbing and highlighting a corner and then just skewing it like that. So if I want to make it look like a billboard on the side of a building or something, I can. And of course, you can always just reset back to where you started. And then you can go ahead with the plan. All right. You may want to readjust that some more later, but the good news is I can. Yay. These L's are a little bit too big on the bottom, so yeah, they're sticking out too far. So what I'm going to do is just, hang on, I'm going to freehand a line around just the L's. And then I have the option of making just the L's a little shorter. See that? That's better. Okay, I think this thing needs a background. So now I'm going to add a background layer. And I think I'm going to insert a photo. Lots to choose from. But I think the one that I want to use is the photo I got from my friend Sean. This one here. Because it just kind of seems to go with the theme. A still ocean. Now, once again, I need to make this so that it fits in there. I have a couple of choices. I can just grab it like from here and stretch it. And sometimes that makes the image look a little bit weird. So instead of doing that, I'm going to grab it out in the corners and make it wider that way. Gonna have to do it again. Because there's not enough room. There we go. So essentially what I did is I zoomed in on the picture instead of just stretching it. I think today I want to make these letters look like they're, I don't know, kind of glass on top of this image. So I don't need the drawing guide anymore. And I'm going to use these letters, and I'm going to fill the letters with the same image that I put in the background. And then I'm going to put 3D effect on the edge of the letters to make it look like they're kind of floating above that image in the background. So go in here, we'll take this layer that the background's on, we're going to duplicate it, and we're going to put it on top of the letters. Then I'm going to take the letters, the letter layer, and I'm going to lock it. And then I'm going to hit it again to select it. And then this is going to be tough to see, but in here there's gray squiggle lines that are running everywhere except where the letters are. But I want to have it be an automatic selection, so I'm going to touch that down here. And right now, because I can see the ocean, I know that the ocean is the part that's selected, not the letters. So I'm going to invert it. So now the ocean is blocked in blue, and the letters themselves are ocean color. Then I'm going to go back to my layer level, and you notice that I have the ocean image that's above the letters. When I click on that, now that these letters have been selected, I can clear these up here, clear the ocean. And then what I have left is just the ocean letters. Then I'm going to turn off the layer that has the original drawing, the original letters, because that's the black that's showing through. And now it looks like there's nothing there, but this is where the magic starts. So to help to see what's going on, I'm going to go back down to this background layer, the first layer that does not have the letters in it. And I'm just going to reduce the opacity a bit so that I can see the letters that I made. But then I'm going to change that again later. So here's the layer with the letters. First thing I want to do is alpha lock it, which means that I can lay in more colors and things and have it not change anything other than the image that I drew. And then I will duplicate that layer, because this layer here is going to be my white layer. And then this layer down here below that is going to be a black layer. And then this layer down here is going to be a shadow layer. So we'll go back up here to the one that I want to make white. Select white, and then fill it. Then I'm going to go down to the next one, and I want this one to be black, but not black out of this palette, because it's not a full black. I'll show you. It's kind of mostly black, but not all the way. So I want it all the way. I'm going to turn it way down here. Just grab it, take it all the way down there. So now I have a true black, and I'll fill this layer with black. And then the next layer, I'm going to do the same. So now let me show you what's going on with this. I'm going to zoom way in so that we can see. So here's my letters on top of the C. And I'm going to go to the white one, and I just want to put highlight. Now in the photo, that light is coming from above, so I think I'm going to make the highlight on these letters from above too. So now I've selected the white layer. I've selected it with the arrow. I don't even know what they call that one, sorry. But now, you can't tell, but there's a dotted box all the way around this. So I can move now the white layer around to wherever I want. Now that jerkiness is because of this magnetic thing, so I'm going to turn that off so that we have smooth motion now. Hope nobody's getting seasick. All right. I want to take that white and just put it just on the edge like that, so that it has kind of a, feels like 3D kind of glass maybe. So it's just going to sit there like that. Then the black layer underneath, I'm going to do the same thing. Select it. There's a dotted line around the outside here. No, I can't do that. I'm going to drop that down so that I have a shadow layer. So I have a highlight layer, a shadow layer, and then the original layer. And then the last one is going to be the layer that makes it look like it's floating. So what I have to do here, in order to be able to use the blur on it, I have to take the alpha lock off, because it won't allow it to blur while the alpha lock is on. So at this point now, I know that this shadow layer that I just did is going to be blurry, but I want to drop it down so that I can add the floatiness to these letters. And just drop it down like that. I can adjust it later. I'm going to take the Gaussian blur, and as you draw the pen across the canvas, the blur effect becomes more stronger. So I'm just going to go this way, and you can tell, watch it, it's blurring, it's blurring, it's blurring. It's almost disappeared, it's blurred so much, and we can take it really far. But I don't want to do that. What I want to do is bring it to just enough blur that it feels like these cut out letters here are actually floating above the background, which that does to me. That looks like it. So now I'm going to zoom back out and see how we like it. Oh, very nice. I'm going to bring up that background layer, the opacity, and I still like it. Well, what's interesting about highlighting the sketchy scratchiness of that brush that I use to do these letters stands out even more when they're highlighted, which makes it feel, I don't know, makes it feel more hand done. It's not a machined kind of a look. All right. Now for me, I'm going to say that the fuzzy shadow that's back there is maybe just a bit intense for this. I would like it to be a bit more subtle. So I'm going to go over here to the layers, and I'm going to click on that background layer, which is this one here. And then I'm going to reduce the opacity. Watch the shadow. Until it's just a little bit more subtle, a little less obvious. So this is what I like. That's what it was. Put it back to here again. A little softer. And I think I'm going to post this image. So thanks for watching.